What up, YouTube family? Welcome to From Indicted to Invited. Before we get started, hit that like button, cash up upper left hand corner. This is Destiny Boyd right here. She's been missing since the 25th of last month, y'all. So literally like 2 weeks. Stand up, Cleveland. She's 17 years old now. If anybody's seen her, contact authorities. Do the right thing, Cleveland. July 4th inside the penitentiary can be kind of, they try to make it homely as possible. You know, in the kitchen they got the meals, the special meals. Some joints you go to, they cook outside, and they got activities and stuff you can get into. They got bingo, all kind of stuff like that, where you can win certain little stuff, all kind of activities. And a lot of times a lot of people just stay in and cook and never go to the kitchen, and they just stay in a unit. And this be the time when people come out. And I need to do a series because I told y'all if the track could talk, many secrets are told on the track. Many conversations are held on the track, just people walking. And sometimes when you carry yourself a certain kind of way, like I was quiet, I played ball and stuff like that. I used to book the ticket. And you know, sometimes people zoom in on you and you see certain people, you know, to themselves, you think the time might be beating them up. All the time you're doing, and that can happen. You get consumed into just self. You know what I'm saying? And man, this is a story about Marcus and Damon. Marcus come out on July 4th one day, and we walking the track in Big Sandy, and he tell me about his best friend Damon. And since 5 years old, they used to get in this shit, and he said they used to always be like, bet. You know how you always say bet? And you know how you always say bet and they ain't never got no money? So he was like, bet. They always bet everything and do all that, and playing That's My Car and all that. But they was bad. They used to get into shit. And one of the things they used to do, you know those things like those catwalks to go over the highway? Or them sidewalks over the highway, they kind of look like this. You know, some of these things, they have them closed on the top where you can't, you know, throw nothing over. But when I grew up, they kind of look like this. So Marcus said they used to go, and it was like they used to cut through the little road, and it was like some gravel. And they used to get a handful of gravel and just throw it over and just keep running. You know, trying to, you know, hit cars and all kind of silly shit like that. So he said this particular day, it had rained, right? It was a little wet out there. So he said, man, he had picked up a thing. It was kind of dusty, muddy, but it was solid. It wasn't like all rock. He was just like, it was light. And he picked it up and said, Damon didn't pick up nothing. So they was running. He was trying to get back home and stuff, and he was running, right? Before his mom got home from work, he was running back. And he said hold on, man, my lip chapped. He said he just happened to just sling it over and just kept running. He didn't look and see if he hit anything and none of that. So he walked Damon home. Damon lived on the next street. They about 11 years old. He said 10, 11 years old. He said when he go around the corner to his house, Auntie Joy there. It ain't his real auntie, or Joy was white. They used to be married to his uncle. But he looked at her as his auntie. His uncle had passed away. And he come in the house, he see Auntie Joy there. And he had another brother named Malcolm. And the sister, I forget his sister's name. But anyway, Damon, later in years, Damon was end up dating his sister. And he ended up dating Damon's sister. I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but his Auntie Joy, everybody looked when he came in, and he thought he had did something wrong. And his Auntie Joy told him that his mother had passed away. And she was in a car accident. So he like, oh my God, he tripping, and he's like, oh my God, Mom, and whatever, you know what I'm saying? So about 2 hours later, some detectives come to the house, right? And told him what happened. Somebody had threw something over the highway and it splattered on the windshield of the mother's car, and she panicked and lost control of the car because it was wet and crashed and died. This dude killed his mother. So when the detectives come in there and tell him what happened, he's filled with grief and sorrow. He's filled with grief and sorrow, but he don't say anything. He don't say anything. He keep his secret, whatever. Only him and Damon knew the secret. Years later, in their early 20s, both of these dudes in the streets. Like Damon was always in the streets. Marcus wanted to play sports. Damon used to be in the streets or whatever. He was always getting money and taking care of Marcus and whatever. And when things didn't work out for Marcus and shit, Marcus wanted to go to college and all of that. And things didn't work out. He ended up leaving school or something for some reason. And he jumped in the streets. He ended up being a better hustler than Damon. And Damon didn't like that. Always competitive and blah, 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 whatever. And just started hating. Marcus couldn't believe it. Now, mind you, they dating each other's sisters. So, Damon catch a case and feel a certain kind of way about the case. Because, you know, Marcus doing his thing, they not doing, both got different plugs and all of that. Damon catch a case and get salty and start acting like a bitch toward Marcus and all that, bringing up Marcus's mama and all of that, right? And I ain't gonna tell you that Damon did some fuckery shit. I ain't gonna do that, right? But Marcus, the kind of man that he was, he been living with this grief for, let me see, he's 24, 25, for about 13 years now. He tells me. Then he tells me when he was in the streets, right, before anything happened to him, he know Damon could probably gonna do him in. He just seen Damon just turn into a devil on him, right? He knows something about to go down. Before he do, now let me tell you about Marcus. He took care of everybody. He had it going on. He took care of everybody in the family and all of that. He went to his sister. He went to his brother. He went to his Auntie Joy. And he told him what he did. And they all got up and hugged him. His Auntie Joy say, boy, you've been living with this all these years. It's okay, you was a kid. That was just awful luck. It's okay. Like, we love you. His sister, we love you. We love you. Right? And he said, I had to tell y'all before Damon did. And his sister looked at him like, right? His sister had knew something was up between them two. They had some kind of secret. You know what I mean? Because Damon used to drop little loves. Yeah, your brother ain't who you think he is and all of this type of shit. You know what I mean? Man, she wanted to quit fucking with that nigga. She quit fucking with that nigga right before he come in. She got rid, told that nigga, fuck you, all of this shit. You know what I mean? Like nigga, I'm talking about that family, when by Marcus going and being honest, man, that family is like this. They beat the doors down on the visit. They don't make him feel sorry for killing their mother. They don't do him like that. You know what I mean? And that's a kind of characteristic, man, that most people don't have. Most people don't have, man. Everybody want to judge. Everybody want to judge. Man, but that's a characteristic, man, especially when you lose somebody that you love and you care about, right? You can imagine what this was doing to him. You can imagine what this was doing to him. This dude killed his mama by mistake, being a kid. He was so relieved to get it off his chest with his family. And man, he told me, man, like, Damon never ended up telling on him. He ended up getting in a conspiracy too, right? But they didn't really have him jammed up or whatever, and he ended up only getting 7 years. So he was just cool. He said he had plenty of money. He said he was cool, but he wanted to atone for what he did with his mother just by giving himself to the Lord and speaking and existing. He chose me. He said, man, I chose you to tell my story to. He said, I don't know, man. I just like the way you carry yourself. I could trust it. It was never, you Never mentioned this to nobody. But he said, man, I needed to tell this to somebody, bro. I needed to tell this to somebody. And he told it to me. You know what I mean? Dude is at home doing good. I ain't gonna say where he at. You know what I mean? We don't want nobody trying to be like, oh man, you know, man, we ain't gonna do all that. So he at home doing good. He got married. Everything is all good with him and his family and all of that. And this July 4th story. You hear a lot of stuff, man, when people come out and walk that track. But this story here, it knocked me on my feet. And I just had sympathy for him, bro. I just had sympathy for him. I gave him a hug and told him, man, you ever need to talk, I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. And, you know, he hit me up occasionally, you know what I mean? We talking all that. He working. He's just chilling, you know, living like a square, doing this thing, living off the money he always had, you know what I mean? And this is a major story to me because the fact that he chose me to talk to me, it said something about my character. And character that I didn't even know I had. You know what I mean? For somebody to come and confide in you that you ain't really, you know, really talk seriously with about anything. You know what I mean? So big ups to Marcus, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the story. This is from Indicted to Invited. I'm gonna keep pumping them out for the next few days. I got, you know, I'm gonna hit y'all around for the 4th of July, man. Y'all can watch, you know, Indicted to Invited channel, you know, on the big screen. This is from Indicted to Invited. Y'all take it easy. Happy July 4th.